You Hitler.
God damn it! Now I want to keep that in too. Hold on, I have to make sure
The audio levels are correct.
Yeah, I have to.
Testing audio levels.
Testing audio levels.
Ravioli. Give me the formioli.
Ravioli, Great Barrier Reef. What does he say?
What does SpongeBob say to Mr. Krabs when he's like repeating the ingredients for the Krabby Patty? And he's like, "No, Mr. Krabs, I don't know that a Krabby Patty is made out of blah, 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 blah." And he puts it together and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, he's like, bun, patty, lettuce, tomato, cheese, pickles, ketchup, mustard, top bun. And then Mr. Krabs is like, boyo, you did it.
SpongeBob me boyo. You done it.
God damn, this is all good stuff for the actual.
And I love whenever SpongeBob calls him like a cheapsake or whatever.
Cheapskate.
Yeah, cheapskate.
Krabs, you cheapskate. I can't do SpongeBob.
No, you can't.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 5th episode of the Empty Head Podcast with me, Eamon.
And me, Garrett. This is a special edition because we're having a late recording session. Late in the week, in fact.
At night as well.
Usually we record on Saturdays. It's Thursday, and the episode's supposed to go up in 2 days. But luckily, we're not supposed to usually give away our schedule, but we got a little bit extra news from all the entertainment stuff.
Yeah. Garrett just exposed us to the internet, too.
Yeah, we just got exposed.
I've now been doxxed. Someone's going to find my address. Anyways.
I'm already putting it out there. So.
Oh, then that's fine.
I have a secret Twitter burner account. I just put your address on. I post it every day.
Every day. This is Eamon's address. That's pretty...
Yeah. It's cruel, but...
it's fair. I mean,
it's valid and deserving.
Yeah, I understand. Anyways, tons of shit. Tons of news.
The Fallout stuff.
Today, show. Amazon Studios announced that they're going to be making a Fallout TV show with the Westworld people. I forgot their names.
What's weird is that a Fallout or Elder Scrolls adaptation isn't really an adaptation. There is a mainline story in each of the games, but they're all separate from each other.
And they all have an overarching lore.
Yeah, so it's the lore they'll probably be using, and they'll probably be making their own story. But from season to season, it's not like you have some sort of overarching arc. Like the game to game, there's no overarching arc. Same thing with like Elder Scrolls. There's no like you're doing a different story every single time. Story of the Dragonborn, story of the Blades and Oblivion and whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
So it's an odd thing to want to adapt and put into like television, but like it's like a valid setting, but it seems weird from like a story aspect of. I mean, obviously there's endless possibilities, but
the thing is with they'll definitely just develop their own thing, their own story, and then they'll either just it'd be interesting to see is a show. I forgot what it's called, but like how like Black Mirror, every episode is a different story. It'd be interesting to see like a show like that, but for Fallout, where every episode is a different little
sort of. Vignette from the wasteland. Or something like that.
It's like this episode's in Los Angeles and this episode's in Boston or whatever.
Yeah, the Commonwealth.
That'd be pretty interesting. It's just like different little parts of the wasteland, the American wasteland, and then obviously they can't get into other countries because that's never been discussed in the Fallout.
What
games.
would be cool is a new location that hasn't been put into the game, but. The locations from the previous 3 games, you have characters in each one whose stories somehow connect at an apex.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Since they're sort of like, you're always playing a traveler.
Right, yeah.
Somebody who's wandering the wasteland. It's always, except for Fallout 4, because you're trying to settle the Commonwealth.
Right, yeah.
With the whole Minutemen thing, and each faction sort of trying to get dominion. But I'd like to see it where it's like they have a location separate from any of the games that hasn't been, something weird like, I don't know, like Mexico City or like Toronto, somewhere out of the United States. So you can see the 50s influence in a different country.
Right.
And what the whole conflict of the China-US thing is and how
it affects a different country.
How this massive nuclear sort of war rippled in its effects to a different country,
Right.
but you all also have them all merge into one point. I think that would be something that would be really cool.
That'd be that's like, it would work. Yeah,
Because there's a through line theme of all the games where you're a wanderer.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I mean,
in Fallout 1, you're the Vault Dweller. In Fallout 2, you're the Chosen One. And then in 3,
you're like Vault Dweller again.
Yeah, and then in New Vegas, you're the Courier, which is my favorite one.
And
the
then
game and the name.
Yeah.
And then Follower, you're the Lone Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in 76 is you're like a Vault guy, dude.
Yeah. Again. Well, it's like the Vault was meant to be so it would be opened.
Right. Because 76 is the earliest
in the timeline. It's like 76 years after.
Is this? I thought it was 25.
I don't know. I don't know what the details are, but I know it's the earliest.
It's the earliest Vault
of them going back out to.
Because every other game is like a few hundred years.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love the Fallout games, and I love the universe, the Fallout universe. So like, seeing it adapted into a real gritty TV show would be pretty nice. Because like Amazon, I mean, they do a good job. I think their shows are pretty good.
Yeah, Amazon does do a good job, and seeing as how they're willing to spend a lot of money for quality, like they're doing with Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
they're like highest, most expensive, television series that's ever going to be made. But they'll probably be seeking out quality because I think they're trying to make, with the boys. The Boys is a great show. Like I think they're trying to move into a direction, like because their early attempts, I feel, weren't really all that. Like I don't know much about their TV slate, and it feels like it's like
Man in the High Castle.
It feels like that and The Boys are like the two
big ones
where you've heard the most about, and at the same time you've heard very little about. So right. I think like their Lord of the Rings acquisition, and obviously this Fallout acquisition, is them trying to push into the mainstream television audience, because like they have an audience, but it's clearly smaller compared to Netflix originals and HBO originals.
Right, yeah. So, what else? They have a
lot.
They have the rights to the Tick.
They have the Tick. They have a lot, but it's like their slate is kind of weird. I know they have like that
Top Gear. No,
yeah,
they have
that. They have that. But there's the Good Omens show.
Yes,
I've heard that's really good.
Yeah, there's good. See, they have like really good shows. It's just like no one knows about them.
Yeah, from what I understand, it feels like they're not talked about that often. I mean, I always scroll past Reddit, r/television all the time, and it feels like it's very seldom mentioned. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll see the occasional Good Omens thing.
Right.
And when The Boys came out, I saw a lot about that.
The Boys, I think, was like their biggest hit.
It has to be. I mean, it's
probably Man in the High Castle.
Yeah.
Which, shame how it ended. But, yeah, I definitely think the Fallout thing is, if it's good, and, I mean, the Westworld creators and writers...
clearly very talented.
Yeah, so I think it should be fine. They're pretty good at that barren wasteland thing. And then
sort of dystopian thing.
Yeah. I don't know. The Fallout universe is so... Like, it has so much little stupid lore in it that it could be made into anything. It'd be great.
I'm excited because for the longest time, video games have been tried to be adapted onto the big screen for movies. But with the recent Fallout announcement and Last of Us announcement, for Last of Us being on HBO, I'm really excited because I feel like these stories, because they're like, it's like, condensing these massive games into a movie feels like impossible. Right, The Witcher too. I completely forgot, which is a book series and also a video game.
And it's great. The show is amazing.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
But it's better that it's moving in the direction of television, I think, because it's more adaptable. There's more space and time to tell what you're trying to tell,
It's definitely easier to portray and write and create a story like that in a TV show, because a movie, like you said, is too condensed.
And for the longest time there's been talks about the Last of Us or Uncharted movie. Like Uncharted is supposed to happen with Tom Holland, but the movie, the games are so like, the adventures seem so long that it feels like it'd be hard to condense that into a 2-hour runtime. You know,
Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
I think so. I think it's going to be sort of a young Drake, and I forget who else is supposed to be in that movie, but
Damn.
I'm interested.
Who's is Sony? Obviously, Sony's making.
Obviously, it's Sony. Yeah, I think they have the rights to it, but I'm interested, obviously, but like I have no idea because it's been in
Pre-production for a while.
It's been in like development forever. I mean, development in air quotes, obviously.
Right.
You guys can't see my air quotes, but yeah, there's been talk about it for so long. I feel like back since like 2013, 2012, I've always heard something about an Uncharted movie.
That's interesting.
And I wonder if it'll ever get made because there's a lot of these pre-production video game movie projects that just keep getting pushed back. Like, I'm sure there was talk of a Sonic movie for so long, and then it finally got made.
And it was like,
Well, I heard it's good, but like it's definitely way more of a kids movie than.
Yeah, and like the Assassin's Creed movie sucked.
Oh yeah, that was shit.
Everyone and there's Tomb Raider movies. Those came out in like the 90s.
I heard the recent. I didn't watch it, but I heard the recent Tomb Raider is like a decent action movie.
Yeah, but it's just like.
It's like generic.
Yeah. Like you could name it anything and it'd work. Like Tomb Raider is just because it's a big known name.
Yeah.
But if it was like Miss fucking.
You're basically. It's like you're basically making a Indiana Jones action film.
Right. Yeah. Just a little more serious than an Indiana Jones.
Well,
Probably.
I think Indiana Jones is serious. It's like, but it's
campy.
Yeah, it leaves a lot of room for humor and
yeah.
The supernatural. But like I think there's still aspects of it that are very,
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he tears the guy's heart out.
Yeah,
that's my favorite Indiana Jones movie.
So the most racist one.
I don't care.
My favorite one's The Last Crusade, but that
one's great too. No,
they're all
Temple
great
Doom
except for Crystal Skull. But
no, that one doesn't count.
Yeah,
I mean it counts. It counts. It doesn't. But yeah, Temple of Doom is very racist towards Arabs, but I don't care.
And Indians. It's not just Arabs.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, there is a Indian
They're eating
part.
monkey brains.
I forgot, but it's just like
Short Round. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's so good though.
Like, I mean, it's good because it's Indiana Jones, but it's also like uncomfortable to watch.
See, the thing is that like it's known, like it is aware of its own racism.
Yeah,
I guess that's the point. And like it just that doesn't come across.
I feel like the worst thing about that movie is that the female co-lead is nothing like the first movie.
Right. Oh, I forgot all of their names, but
yeah. But like in the first movie, she's clearly capable. I mean, the introductory scene to her is her having a drinking contest, which is awesome. It's like iconic. But in the second movie, it's like her screaming Indy over and over and over. Yeah, she's just the
damsel in distress in the second movie.
Yeah.
In the first movie, she was like an actual character.
Then in the third movie, they go back to it where it's like she like
a real character.
Yeah, she like betrays Indy and she's like a Nazi and whatever.
Oh, spoilers for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade for a 30-year-old movie, 20-year-old movie. Doesn't matter. Speaking of, TV, have you seen Perry Mason on HBO, or at least like the ads? Perry Mason. Okay.
I have no idea what that is.
So it's Matthew Rees. Is that his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the guy from The Americans.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So it's set in the 1930s America, and he's a private investigator. And it's just like the visuals and like how I don't know. It's a good show. You should watch it. Like it's just like it's interesting. I think 2 episodes are out so far. It's just like really, it's an interesting story, and also like he was a World War I vet. So every once in a while he flashes back to like something in like the trenches or whatever.
I'll check it out.
The World War I scenes are really good.
Really well done.
Yeah, they're really well done. And then like I love the 30s atmosphere because it's like just right before the Great Depression, like a year before. Because it's like, the Great Depression started in 29, but it got really bad in like 33.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's in 32, so it's just like...
a year before it all goes to shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's just like, there's stories that are pretty good. And so apparently there used to be like this really, you know how nowadays we have like televangelists,
Yeah.
and it's like a big thing. So then it was like radio
Yeah. Yeah.
so radio evangelists.
However you say that. Yeah.
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 So there was one woman actually like in the 30s, I think, who was like this big crazy televangelist. So they kind of adapted like that into like the show a bit and stuff like that.
That's interesting.
It's a really good show. You'd enjoy it. Perry Mason on HBO. Also, so yeah, HBO Max is a thing now.
Yep.
I got it because I get HBO Go through my phone
Cable provider or
no, my phone provider.
Oh.
Because AT&T owns them, so AT&T.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So then we got a text that it was like, oh well, since we're getting ready HBO Go, here's HBO Max, and we're like, okay, cool. And it's pretty good. It's like it's all of HBO and then everything else. It's a nice streaming service. But so Perry Mason, that's good. I'm just trying to like think of things. I started rock climbing with our friends.
Yeah.
That was really fun, but my hands are really. You see my hands.
This is officially an anti-rock climbing.
Yeah, we hate rock climbing. No, I love it. I actually love it so much.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's really fun, but my hands are fucked up, and then so I didn't go for a week, and then now shit is reclosing.
Yeah.
So looks like my
$35 well spent.
yeah. I'm gonna
Very
have to put
nice.
my subscription on
Might
freeze.
be able to get a refund.
Maybe, but I don't really care because they just freeze my membership anyways
Oh,
until
okay,
they
so
reopen. They're not going to
it'll
charge me
continue.
while I can't go.
Yeah.
That'd be fucked up.
Obviously, yeah. No, but I was wondering if you'd want a refund, even though they're freezing your subscription, like
Well, it's not
could get
official that they're closing yet,
they'll probably close.
but they'll probably close, exactly. So
Yeah.
if they do, then they'll probably shoot me an email like, hey, we'll just freeze your membership. But yeah, it's a good time. Good little, outing thing.
I'm almost finished with Avatar: Last Airbender.
Oh, I still need to rewatch that.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
obviously.
I mean, everybody already knows that. Nothing new, but I think there are rumors of a live action show, which I found really interesting because, well, first of all, apparently, from what I've seen, is like the creators are excited about the potential of like an adaptation to the live action sort of thing.
Right.
But what I found interesting was like the movie got made, and I always wondered like year to year how are they supposed to like the story takes place over like half a year,
Right.
and year to year the kids are gonna grow
Get
up.
older, yeah.
So it's like you can naturally progress in a show like Stranger Things, but I'm wondering how they would achieve that
An airbender.
in Avatar.
They'll just de-age.
No, they're not. That would
Yeah,
be
that's...
dumb.
Well, you said... Is it rumored? I thought it was like official that they're making a live action
I
show.
forget. I don't know.
Because is it Netflix that's doing it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Netflix is doing it.
They'll probably figure something out. Maybe they'll change the story a bit. Because if they
Made it take place over years, that would make sense.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe... I don't know. Are they... Like, would they just lift the entire story of the original show and then just...
Well, they might add stuff into it, make it, instead of being a 20-minute long cartoon, an hour long episode sort of thing.
Right, okay. Yeah, I guess so.
And add more detail maybe, or, And if they decide to just adapt the same story, like or maybe they'll do a continuation of Legend of Korra. They'll continue that instead of maybe doing Avatar.
When is that? Is that set like...
I looked it up today. It's 70 years after Avatar.
So Aang is
Most likely deceased, yeah.
and who's the
I
guy
forget. I don't know.
in Korra? Is that like Aang's son?
Yeah.
And who's Korra? Is she that guy's daughter?
No, she's the Avatar.
She's an avatar?
Well, she's the next in line to be the Avatar.
I see, okay. The master of the elements.
And she has to learn airbending from Aang's son.
I see.
I want to watch it, obviously, because it's a continuation. It's supposed to be really good. But, yeah, I'm almost done with the original. And you watched it when you were a child, right? So you have a vague memory of it?
Yeah.
I love when kid shows are capable of appealing to anybody.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely like a good sign that it's well made.
Yeah, and it's definitely well made. You know?
Big hit. Everyone who's, everyone our age, like, grew up with it, seen it, knows it. you know,
Yeah, and
enjoys
even
it.
like everyone like maybe even like 5 years, no,
Like 3 years younger than
3
us.
4 years older than us.
Oh,
not
older than
younger.
us. Yes, yeah, of course. Younger than us,
Definitely
maybe like a
watched
year or
it.
two. But now all the younger kids, since it's
You
on
know what?
Netflix, they'll
My
catch it
brother
again.
watched it.
You
He's
know-
like 5 years older than me.
Yeah, my
He
brother
watched
too.
it.
My siblings watched it as well. They were also into like Dragon Ball, the
Yeah.
original Dragon
Yeah.
Ball. That's how I sort of got into it when I was younger. But yeah, I want to rewatch it. It's just like, you know,
Yeah. The thing you get with most cartoons though, when they're like meant to be funny, like with SpongeBob, is the character is static. Usually, like SpongeBob, he like nothing really changes. But when you have a show like Clone Wars and Avatar, where it's supposed to appeal to everybody, and it's really well made, it's like usually the characters are like way more complex, and it's awesome.
right? They grow and change, and
Yeah.
like, you could tell. Like,
Yeah.
they have actual character arcs as opposed
Yeah.
to just, you know, a different story.
SpongeBob saying hi to Patrick.
SpongeBob.
Do you hear that one where he's like, he's trying to like remember his day or whatever, and he like keeps saying hi to Patrick?
What?
Or no, he's like, Patrick, say hi to me.
Oh,
You don't remember that?
No.
I forget
What?
like what the exact details of the episode are, but like
Remember his day? Like
he's like trying to
retracing
like
his steps?
retrace his steps, and he like keeps repeating the like event of Patrick saying hi to him. I forget the exact details. That's another good episode.
I remember an episode where he's retracing his steps, like sort of, but not that part. I don't know. I'll look. Well,
Or it's like he's like trying to remember the day before or something like that, and he's like, Patrick, like say hi to me or whatever, and it's like I forget.
oh, he's trying to recreate everything that happened another time.
Something like that.
Oh, I
yeah.
see. Okay. I probably. I mean, obviously, I've seen it, but
Obviously, I mean, yeah,
yeah, no, we were talking about this the other day with our friends, but
yeah, countless bangers.
countless amazing SpongeBob episodes that are just so ridiculous that they're hilarious.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're all good. The one, you know, we forgot to bring this up. The one where they're blowing bubbles into like big shapes, and then it's like,
Bubble Boy too.
yeah.
I forgot about Bubble Boy.
they blow. SpongeBob blows like a big elephant, and Patrick's like, "Oh, it's a giraffe," and it's like, okay, that's pretty funny. As a kid, it was hilarious, but even now, it's just
There's
like,
a reason. I mean, the show had like universal love, and then but like you'd always meet like the one kid whose parents were like sussed out and didn't let him watch it for some
oh
reason.
my god, there's so
It's
many
also
people. where
always the
I-
weirdest thing.
I reference SpongeBob, and they're like, my parents don't let me watch it because they think it makes me stupid or blank or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck sort of sick parents do you have?
That don't let you watch the greatest cartoon ever.
That's just evil.
It is evil.
It
It's
is
horrible.
Pure evil. You know, all right, segue. I bought a copy of Batman Year One.
Nice segue.
Thanks, man.
Oh, sorry, I meant horrible segue.
Fuck you. Anyways.
That's something you'll learn.
What a there's so many other podcasts where they're like, oh, let's just change subjects, or they, you know, some other podcast they go, hey man, check out my Segway, and then they go and they ride a Segway off into the sunset. Anyways,
What are you on about, man? Just get on. What do you want to talk about Batman Year
I,
One? All right?
I was watching this video about like, hey, like if you're interested in these comic books, like, or these characters, like these are some good, you know, first comic books to pick up. One of them is Batman Year One, and it's, you know, his first year as the Batman, and there's like 4 issues. It was released in like the 80s, I think.
Yeah. Pretty short.
Yeah, last night I read the first one because it's just a book with like all 4 of them compiled into one.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I haven't read a comic book in like 3 years, so.
Well, like, I want to start a comic book collection, and I kind of tried, but I mean, like, at the time I really didn't. Like, junior year, I kind of tried to start collecting, but, you know, lack of money as a high school student.
Yes.
But yeah, like, I have Dark Knight Returns. I have the Watchmen comic. I have plenty of stuff, but I'd like to expand that with some classic stories, you know.
Right, yeah.
Batman is definitely a treasure trove of classic stories.
There's just too many.
Yeah.
It's so hard to have a collection of stuff like that. During like, you know, from like the 6th grade to like the 9th grade, I was like oh man, retro video game collection. So I had, I got all the old Nintendos. Yeah, and I have like a few NES games and one SNES game and like a bunch of N64 games.
Still need that PlayStation 2.
I still need the PS2, and then I'll have the first 4 PlayStations because I'll be damned to buy the PS5 because it's a waste of. I don't need it.
It's not a waste of money.
It's a waste of money because I'm never going to use it.
There's going to be an exclusive where like there probably will be an exclusive where like, oh, and you'll wish you had it.
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, I have a PS4, but I didn't buy.
No, come on. I mean, like
God of War, or Spider.
Yeah, but all those exclusives you probably wanted to play at some point.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe I'll buy it.
They're like the king of exclusive titles, so like
maybe I'll buy it.
That's the only justification for me buying it. Like, because I mean, I have to. I have to continue the stories of all these fucking games I'm playing.
Yeah, Uncharted 7.
Uncharted 7, God of War. Yeah, God of War 2. They'll probably make a sequel to Last of Us. After,
I thought it ends with the second one.
What?
Is it open-ended, the ending of the last... Is that...
Oh, they leave it open for a sequel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I started playing Jedi Fallen Order. It's a good game. I've never played like a Souls-type game.
Yeah. Is it frustrating, or is it like... Are you like feeling like you're getting used to it?
I'm getting used to it. It's just... Okay, so I use a PS4 controller and like, hooked up through Bluetooth on my computer, but...
Yeah.
It's like... All of my PS4 controllers are fucked up. Just like the right trigger on all of them is broken.
Yeah.
So it presses by itself, right? So a few months ago, I opened it up and I replaced the spring in the right trigger. So I fixed that. But now, for whatever reason, when I spin the right analog stick a certain way, it activates the right trigger.
That's so weird.
It's so weird. And I like tested it. I found this website that like detects your inputs on your controller, and it shows you like which buttons are going off. So I would spin the right analog stick, and then the right trigger would also be detected. And I like wouldn't even have my hand, like accidentally touching the right trigger.
Yeah.
So I look it up, and then apparently it's like, it's just like a motherboard issue or whatever. So I want to buy a new controller, but it's like $40 for a controller that I'm barely going to use.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Honestly, like, the 360 controller I have is like slowly breaking, but for like just like a plug-in sort of play, like for the PC, the 360 is probably like the most ideal.
Yeah,
which is strange. Like you'd think it'd be like the PlayStation 4 controller because it's one of the best controllers ever, but there's a point where especially for Souls games, for some reason I don't know why, but the 360 controller just like reigns king.
Really?
As like just the perfect like plug-in for, especially because it's Windows too. It's like Microsoft hardware, but just plugging in and playing, it's like the easiest thing ever.
Well, Steam and Windows 10 both have PS4 compatibility now.
Well, yeah, they do, but like
it's just like I don't know. The controller worked fine. Literally, like a few weeks ago, I was playing LA Noire with it. It was fine.
Yeah.
And now it's just fucking up, and I opened it up today. I literally opened it up, deconstructed the entire thing, and was just staring at it like, what the fuck? How do I fix this? And then I was like, forget it. I put it back together. It worked, but like, it's still doing
the thing. Yeah.
So I was just playing with keyboard and mouse, and games like that are not fun with keyboard and mouse.
No, they're not.
Because it's like
they're not meant to be played.
You have to parry, and the original parry button that the game has it bound to is Z, which is a little awkward to hit.
Yeah.
When you're doing like W and A and jump and like attacking all at the same time.
Yeah.
So I switched it to V. So like I'm doing like you could see my hands, but I'm doing like the keyboard motion.
Yeah.
So I bound it to V, and it made it a little easier. It's just not as fun. So I was like, okay, I'll give up until I find a proper controller. But I don't know. I grew up playing PlayStation for the most part, so I never got used to the Xbox controller. Like I can play with one, I just don't really like it.
Yeah. I mean, the 360 controller's always had a pretty like nice feel to it.
Yeah, everyone likes that one.
Yeah,
it was the winning controller in the first gen of console.
Some people
wars.
seem to think so.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of people shit on the Xbox One, like obviously because like kind of deserved to be with its like initial direction it was taking. But I really like the controller of that one compared to the PS4. But I mean, not obviously, but I like the PS4 controller more. But there's definitely something about the one controller that's like really nice.
Yeah, it's still a good controller.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's a lot better than the 360 controller.
Yeah, the 360 controller is just sort of like the classic sort of thing.
Yeah, it's dated.
But
So is the PS3 controller.
like getting a wired 360 controller, it's like $20.
Yeah, so I'll probably just buy that because there's no wired PS4 controllers because Sony, you know, they're too fancy for shit like that.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I mean, I could, if I really wanted to, I could hook up my Joy-Cons, my Switch Joy-Cons.
That would be dumb.
I was thinking about that today, and I was like, no, that'd suck even more. Like, they're nice controllers, but not for on like my computer.
Yeah.
But Steam has support for them, which is pretty interesting.
That is interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like when you open up Big Picture, it's like, oh, you want to hook up your fucking Switch controllers, and it's like, why is that a thing? Who's out here using a Switch controller on a PC?
Gabe.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Gabe Newell.
Yeah. He's a big Nintendo
The
fan.
man himself.
Yeah. When the Steam controller first came out, I really, really, really wanted to buy it, but then
So stupid.
yeah, but then everyone was like, "This is the worst."
It's a
controller
shitty looking controller, and it's like
No, okay. So when they first announced it, it looked a lot different than what eventually
what it
came
is
out.
now.
Yeah, because like it was supposed to be like, you know, a controller, and then there was two touchpads on the side,
Yeah.
and then a screen in the middle. And then like the analog sticks were supposed to be different kinds of analog sticks, and the triggers were like better. And then there was also like back touch things. But then they realized like that would have been way too expensive to produce and way too expensive to sell, and no one would buy it. So they downgraded it to like what it is now, and it's a piece of shit.
Obviously.
Well, it's all right, but it's like obviously a PS4 or an Xbox One controller is better.
Duh.
But yeah, then now Valve is working on their own VR headset, or it's out because they had their thing with HTC Vive, and now they're doing the Valve Index, and that looks pretty. I mean, apparently it's really good compared to other VR headsets. I just I'm not going to drop $800 to play one VR game for 10 minutes and then
Yeah. Yeah. VR is a long way from like commercial appeal.
yeah. Right now it's
There's
like
still a lot that needs to be done.
there are good VR games, but for the most part it's not.
Super hot.
Yeah.
That's like the one I can think of.
And like Beat Saber and like
Yeah.
VR chat. And there's the sword one, not Beat Saber. It's like you gladiator combat. That one's apparently really fun. Fallout and Skyrim VR. Once they patched it, apparently those are pretty decent. But
Interesting.
like, just I'm not gonna replay the same game in VR and get motion sickness.
Yeah.
You know how terrible it'd be to be playing Skyrim in VR, like turn
Yeah.
around and shit. That'd be like.
And then you have the fucking carriage bug at the beginning of the game where you're flipping out in
yeah.
VR.
You just have a fucking panic attack.
I can't wait for Skyrim on the PS5.
Oh yeah, the next release of the Skyrim Super Special Edition,
Yeah.
the Super Duper Edition,
Skyrim Ultra Remastered Edition.
Ultra Mega, fucking Super Bazinga Edition. When? Okay, I just don't know why they kept doing that. It made them so much money, but it's just like, give up.
Rockstar is doing it too.
Rockstar is doing it too. Rockstar with GTA 5, but they keep adding new things.
Yeah.
Skyrim
It just keeps making
is
money.
literally the exact same game. Great game, and the DLCs are amazing, but literally the exact same game like 6 times.
Yeah.
And you could even play it on your Alexa, which was initially a meme, and then you can. You go, Alexa, play Skyrim, and it goes, oh, the dragon, like, what do you do, attack it or run away? Like, I'm not, it's just, I guess it was a good meme.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very interesting. I feel like people are really shitting on Rockstar, but they did just release, not just, but they did just release a game like...
Yeah, Red Dead 2, which was
Yeah,
a
so it's
massive
like,
hit.
I mean, it took a long time, but clearly they like to take their time with their development, so it's not like they're not going to make a GTA 6.
What was the difference, the difference between Red Dead 2 and Red Dead 1? 10 years?
8 years.
Red Dead 2 came out in 2018?
Yes.
Yeah, so Red Dead 1 came out in 2010. Okay. So
GTA came out in 2013.
2013. So it's already been 8. No, it hasn't been 8 years yet.
Huh?
It hasn't been 8 years yet.
Oh, for like what? What do you mean?
In between
Games?
since GTA 5 came out.
No, it
Yeah,
hasn't.
so I mean, they got time.
Yeah. They have a year's time tops.
Yeah.
If not, they're canceled.
Done. I'm canceling them.
Yeah.
I'll have my contacts just turn off.
It'd be crazy to think though. They're like, let's just take 10 years until we release the next one.
Or maybe they've been working on it since whenever, and then they have a little side team.
They probably have. They seem like the type of company that likes to keep their shit private and just sort of, do whatever they want with the games that are currently out.
They're like Valve. That's what Valve does.
Valve does the same thing.
I mean, Half-Life Alyx wasn't announced until it was basically done.
Yeah.
Which apparently that's a really good VR game.
Yeah.
A lot of people say like that's the
VR game right now.
Yeah. And like that's how you want VR games to play and feel. And the physics look really good in that game.
Yeah.
Like you could actually like juggle and like do actual things. It's really interesting how they did that. But considering how shitty the Source Engine physics used to be.
Yeah, they probably had to fucking fix a whole lot.
Yeah, they definitely
Source Engine is like one of the funniest engines I think ever.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. There's so much like stupid potential. I mean, Gary's Mod. There's an entire game dedicated to how stupid the Source Engine is.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's Source Filmmaker where you could make animated movies in the Source Engine.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. No, the Valve is. I like how Valve does things.
Yeah.
They're definitely like one of the better. I don't know, like not standard video game companies / hardware / engineering companies.
I'm not sure I follow, but yeah.
Because they don't only do video games.
Yeah,
they do
true.
Steam and their hardware shit, like the Steam Link or whatever. You know what? You know what a Steam Link is, right? The little box you plug it into your TV and it streams it from your computer. You can just like make your own. And they release the source code for that. And like you could download it onto a Raspberry Pi and then just make your own little Steam Link. And it's really interesting how Valve does. This is like way out of your your field, but like it's really interesting how Valve does stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like here's our engine, play with our video game engine. Do whatever. Fuck you. Do whatever you want with that. And like here's our source code for the fucking like hardware device. Like do whatever you want with that too. It's interesting stuff. You remember when they tried making Steam machines where it was like pre-made little
like console
PCs?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. Those died out in like a year.
It felt like something that would be a good idea, but it just sort of fell flat and was stupid.
And then, now PlayStation, now Sony and Microsoft are like, oh, our thing does 100 million FPS or like 144 hertz. And
4K.
Yeah, 4K, 144 hertz. And everyone's like, wow.
It's the donkey
or 120
video.
hertz. And it's like, that's really good, but most people that are going to buy a PlayStation or Xbox play on a TV, which caps at 60 hertz.
Well, yeah, but I mean, 4K TVs are starting to become like
standard. But
almost standard.
Even then, they still cap at 60 hertz.
Yeah, but they're gonna look fucking amazing.
That's true. I mean, PC's been doing that for years. Yeah, we know.
Yeah. The only thing with like, it's like a really bad faith argument when you look at like a PS4 Pro, which is capped at 30 frames, and you look at Last of Us Part 2, which is like better than anything on PC, which is just a fact. Like better looking. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fact. Like, something at 30 frames looking like that, like...
Oh, yeah. No, on a PS4 Pro, it's capped at 60 frames.
It is?
Yeah, PS4 Pro is good at 60.
Just the 4 is capped at 30 frames, right?
Yeah, the regular...
Well, even that. My point still stands. It's like...
I mean,
Imagine something on a PC being capped at 30 frames, like...
And looking good?
Well, yeah, it's possible, but I'm like... They made it for two separate consoles is what I'm saying, like,
right, yeah,
and they like, well, it's sort of the Naughty Dog thing to make the best looking thing ever, but it's just so impressive, and it's like it feels like a repeatedly bad faith argument with people like bragging about that.
The thing is about like a game like The Last of Us is that there's never so much going on that you need more than 30 frames per second.
Yeah,
And also, it does that thing like Horizon Zero Dawn does, which is also a really great looking game, capped at 30 FPS, is that it just renders in your field
of view.
So
right?
The difference is like...
Well, the thing is, a lot of games do that. A lot of
games do that, but computers, like high-end, actually like decent-end PCs and graphics card, they don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Like, everything could be rendered in real time all the time, and you'll still be running at a high frame rate. That's the key difference.
Yeah, well, no, it's just as someone who's been like a PC person for not 10 years, but like 8 years at this point, it feels like such a stupid tribal thing.
Yeah.
And they keep making this weird, like, bad faith argument about graphical capability when, you know, PlayStation and Xbox are still making some of the greatest looking things ever.
Right, yeah. The games still look good and everything.
Yeah, so it's like such a weird thing to be like, it's like trying to keep this whole console wars bullshit alive, where it's like,
Yeah, on the PC, it still looks better and you're kept at 30 frames.
it's just so stupid.
Yeah,
like,
now that's no longer... They're going to come up with something like, I don't know, but like, you know, some people prefer
it's like
playing...
the Xbox One is just getting 4K capability right now, and the guy's doesn't even have a 4K monitor. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like so stupid.
Like I just said, you know, people don't have 60 or 144 hertz TVs.
Yeah.
What bothers me is that like they make that such a big marketing thing too. The companies are playing into the stupid little tribalism.
Yeah.
They're like, look, our console now does 144 hertz, and everyone's like, oh, like wow.
Yeah.
And it's like no one's gonna use that.
Yeah.
Not no one, but most people won't use that.
Well, if you have a
Monitor that does that. And speaking of, but yeah, it's just like I don't fucking know.
I think it's like it's just super impressive though. Consoles in general,
Nonetheless, yeah,
it's super impressive.
they're
They're like
small,
affordable.
affordable, and they still do great. They still do what they advertise they could do really well.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, nobody wants to fucking build a computer.
Yeah, especially when it will cost you, if you want something really nice, like at least $1,200, $1,300.
Right,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Not everyone wants to build a computer. And if you buy a pre-built one, you're going to spend so much money because they increase the price so much on those. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so my graphics card is getting a bit old now. It's like maybe 8 years old now. So I'm like looking at new graphics cards, but then I can't upgrade my graphics card without also upgrading my monitor because my monitor doesn't have a DisplayPort input. It just has the old DVI, and every graphics card now doesn't have DVI outputs.
Yeah.
And it's so annoying. And I can buy like a converter, but it needs to be like a powered converter that costs $150 on its own.
Jeez.
So I just
You might as well just get a new
monitor.
sort of low end monitor.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. You hate to see that, but you know,
It is what it
my
is.
computer still runs fine. It runs
Yeah.
most. Actually, it's having a hard time doing Fallen Order.
Yeah, my PC, I think that's probably what killed it was Fallen
Really?
Order. Yeah.
I like turn the graphics down to medium, and like sometimes it goes up to 90 if I'm in like a small room. But it, you know, in an open setting, it drops to 50, and it like is really laggy.
it could kick your PC's ass. It definitely kicked mine. It probably put the final nail in the coffin.
Jeez. I mean, yours is just your motherboard, right?
Yeah, but like still, you know.
You really hate to see any of that.
Yeah. Well, this like when I started playing that, like I swear, well, it was a little bit before that, but it definitely contributed to it. Whereas like my PC just started making like so much noise, and my dad was like, because he is an expert on it. He was like, oh, that's normal. Probably was doing that before, but I was like, there's no way it was making this much noise before, and I feel like I was
Like the fans were going off a little.
Yeah, the fans and then the CPU cooler, I'm pretty sure was where it was loudest. And I was like, it's never, like, it's usually pretty quiet. And now it's just fucking going off. Like,
Right.
and it was like almost oscillating where it's like for like 5 minutes, sort of, it's just quiet. And then it goes, and I was like, yeah, there's no way that's right. Like,
Right, yeah.
you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah.
Did your fans, like, my brother's old computer, his fans would just, like, the software through the BIOS would automatically kick up when you played a game? Did yours
Well,
do
yeah,
that?
I think that always happens. Like, does that
'cause
not
mine
happen with
don't.
yours? No?
No, I have my case fans are all static at a static speed, but my CPU fan and my graphics card fans, I have to manually up them through the software, which is
that's
fine because sometimes I just leave them on and then the computer just stays cool anyways. I
Yeah.
don't really mind the noise because it's under my desk and my headphones, like, I can't hear them anyway, so it doesn't matter. And my room doesn't get too hot. But yeah, my fans don't kick off automatically.
I'm pretty sure mine do, or at least on the new.
So
PC
maybe it was a
I've been using.
BIOS problem.
I don't know. I don't know what it was, but It was definitely the motherboard was 10 years old, so it's like, what are you gonna do?
May she rest in peace.
Yeah.
It's so sad. So sad.
It was time though. Like I wish I had the money to build a new one, obviously, but for the time being, I mean, I'm using one that's
Just as fine. I mean, a million times better.
million times better. I don't need to spend money on it when I can just use it. So it's like,
yeah. For now, you'll be fine.
yeah. And maybe I'll buy it off my dad and just keep it, you know.
Slap a $20 on the table and go,
Yeah.
all right, there you go.
Like,
Run out the
he'll
door.
probably sell it for cheaper than it would go for online. It's like, it's such a good bargain, especially when it kicks ass. So it's like, whatever.
And it's already all like set up.
Yeah, I can sell the video cards I have right now, and it's like, I'll be chilling. I'll probably like get a little bit back because of the video cards, like too.
Right, yeah. Oh, man, they're just so intricate, these
Yeah.
computers. Yeah, they're like, so many kids these days are getting really into hardware and stuff and like computer stuff because of like, you know, the YouTubers they watch or whatever. And I really think the next generation of kids, they're going to be a lot smarter than us. Which
Most
is interesting because
likely.
we're like decently smarter than our parents.
Like, I think at the same time, they're probably gonna be really fucking stupid.
Because they're so used to everything being available. Like
That
just a
and the
quick
internet's
Google
a
search.
fucking cesspool.
Yeah, that's true. There's, I mean,
I mean,
already.
just think about the Jake Paul fan base or Logan Paul fan base. Like,
Yeah.
those kids are fucking dumb. No offense to any of you kids out there. But seriously, like,
Our number one fan's a big Jake Paul
It's
fan,
like-
so.
you know, generationally, like, it's evolved where it's like, you know, TV will make you stupid. But I think because the internet is so much bigger than television, it's like, okay, yeah.
It can make you stupid.
It definitely can make you
I mean,
stupid.
you know, all the conspiracy people.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like,
5G's eating my
there's-
bones.
there's no doubt in my mind that, like, you know, the parents of this generation are probably right about it making you stupid, or the past generation of parents were most probably right, because it's like, just because of the massive amount of data
Right.
available, like the potential for it compared to television to make you stupid.
Is
It's
a lot
definitely
greater.
there,
Yeah, that's the
like-
thing. It's the potential to make you really smart is amazing, but it's also like the same way for making
Yeah.
you a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Because okay, so this guy from our high school that I follow on Instagram, and he keeps posting like conspiracy shit on his stories.
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
send them to
yeah.
you. One of them was like, "Don't believe in this COVID thing." So it was like, Ovid in Latin means slave, and it's like, no, it doesn't. Quick Google Translate, you know that's not a word in Latin.
Yeah.
And then it was like the C means this, and the 19 means like the how long it's gonna take before 19 months before they fucking take over the world or whatever. And it's like,
Also, COVID-19 is a shortened version of what
yeah, it's
fucking
like
diseases or virus is called.
yeah,
Like,
it's like SARS, COVID, some dumb shit.
Yeah.
19, yeah. But like, that stuff is so funny. I sent to you the one where he's like, it's a microwave and it's like cooks food on the inside, and then it's a 5G tower. It's like cooks food on the outside.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's dead serious. He posted a picture of like, you know, the cell towers that kind of they make them look like fake trees.
yeah.
He's like, look at this, man. SMH, they're making them look like trees to distract us. It's like, how could you be so stupid? Like,
Yeah.
I hate conspiracy.
You'd like to think that your class would be like, especially during this time, would be smarter than that, to not fall for it, for that sort of bullshit. But no, and because of like, it's sort of unfortunate to see, but at the same time, it's just so entertaining. Like,
Yeah, it's funny. I'm not gonna DM him like, hey man, could you like maybe not?
yeah,
be
who
an
gives a
idiot?
shit?
Yeah, I don't
Like
care.
that guy, you know, figure it out yourself.
Maybe one day he'll be my boss.
Doubt it.
Doubt it. No offense to him. Just we're going different fields, so there's no way.
He'll be somewhere in the deep state.
He'll be running the deep state. He'll be
Yeah.
running all the conspiracies that he's claiming to,
Yeah.
understand. And he'll know that he was right the whole time, and that COVID was.
Probably watches a lot of Alex Jones.
Good old Alex Jones.
Throw back to the first episode.
Yeah. Where we
Conspiracies in America.
we both stated how we love Alex Jones,
Yeah.
and we would die for InfoWars.
You know, maybe we'll bring an expert on to debunk conspiracies in America.
Oh yeah. We do have our lead
No,
conspiracy.
I was just, oh,
Good old conspiracies.
yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, that should be it for this episode. See you next week on Saturday. I'm Garrett.
I'm Evan. See ya.
Goodbye.
Fucking idiots.